Hey, what's up? Travel Chronicles, chapter 119. This is the post-race edition. And, oh, thank goodness they're picking these cones up out of the road, finally. I hope. No, he just moved one. So it's pretty much no help. Oh, I guess they're finally doing the last thing they needed to do here, apparently. Must be setting the reflectors, so that took an additional 2 weeks, I guess, to let the stuff set, and then they come back in and set that. Oh my goodness, oh, so annoying. Well, as long as they finish, I don't care. I mean, it's just been a ridiculously long process. Anyway, back to the race. So ran the Betty Zane race yesterday, and for the first time in 5 years of running, I did not set a PR during an official race. So I guess I'm topped out. And I say that, kind of jokingly, because I did run the course Sunday, 3.07 miles. I think yesterday was 3.08, so I might have been up by a hundredth of a mile. But I ran a 25:51, which would be a PR. 26:48 or 28 was my previous PR. The race yesterday was a 26:44. So I had a really hard effort Sunday. I didn't get to do my shakeout run Monday because I was at work for 14 hours. Tuesday wasn't bad. I did soak, Epsom salts, and then Wednesday at work kind of sucked because I had meetings. It was a very long meeting, a lot of walking. So I had almost my step goal done by the time I got to the race, which is not ideal. Not ideal. I would have liked to have rested the legs as much as possible before the race, because it's a late day race, and we were running at 6 o'clock, and it was hot. I don't know if that was the hottest race I've ever run, but it sure did feel like it. It's because of the humidity. It was 92 on the way home. Today it's 90. It's supposed to storm today, but I mean, it was brutal hot and humid. So it was a difficult race, for one. I didn't think going in that I would set a PR, to be honest with you, just because I knew the conditions and how well I did run on Sunday, and not being able to hit those final 2 marks. Garmin does give you an indication of what condition your body is based on how much you've run, your work, how much of a load you've put on your body, and it keeps constant track of what you've done, and if you're in a productive mode, a maintenance mode, or recovery mode. And last year I was in a recovery mode right before the race, and it said peaking like right before the race. And I went out and I ran a PR, so I felt good, and I thought maybe I could get there, but I did not. And the race, it was kind of what I was expecting. 190 plus heart rate for a lot of the race, basically the second half of the race. It took me a while to get to 180, maybe through the first mile. Looking back, just thinking about the race, it went out too fast. Granted, there were people in front of me that probably shouldn't have been, but just the thrill of the race, and you're being there and everybody's taking off, and some people are really good at pacing themselves and some people are not, and I did not do a good job of pacing myself to start with, and I put myself a little bit behind the 8 ball. I didn't run a bad first mile and a half or so, but I thought I could do better and save time if I didn't walk before the big hill. Like in the past, my strategy has been get to the hill. Right before you go up the hill, walk, gather yourself, get the heart rate down a little bit, get a swig of water, and then hit the hill. And I didn't do that yesterday. I slowed down. I still tried to drink water, and as much as I could, while I was still running. And then I hit the hill because I didn't want to take that stop time. I thought if I get that out of there, that'll help. But I think it hurt me. I actually did run the hill then. I got to the top and I was gonna stop, but there was a lot of people who was like yelling and cheering, a lot of people watching. I was like, all right, I can't stop now. I gotta keep pushing. And then you're into a flat part after that. So if you don't take that first initial stop, once you're in it, if you can get to a good cruising speed, you're in it. And I never got to a good spot. I felt like, I was working really hard after that hill. Like I said, the heart rate was up. I didn't get to as good of a spot as I wanted to. So that straight part, and it's about probably it's a good half a mile. I don't want to say it was wasted, but I did not run it the same way that I did Sunday. But I did run, all the way through the first mile, up the hill, into the second mile, or through the second mile into the third mile, start of the third. And when I got past the hospital, past the low part, then I finally took that break to try and get the heart rate down. I got in the shade as much as I could just to try to let my body cool down a little bit, because there's one final hill, and then the last half or 6/10 of a mile is mostly downhill, like 90% downhill, maybe it's a slight uphill. So I got through the shade, I hit the hill hard, and then when I got to the top of it, my heart rate's back up again. But usually going down that hill, because there's a pretty nice downhill right after that, it's long, you can kind of, let yourself go a little bit, get your speed up, get a time below, 8 minute per mile pace. And I was trying to let it go, but the legs would not respond. It was crazy. Because I remember running down that hill and being like, okay, I'm gonna let it go. And everything in my legs was just so, tight or non-responsive that I could just not get any speed out of my legs. And I did not care about traffic. I don't care if somebody was coming or they're behind me or whatever. It's like, I'm running a race right now. Sorry about your luck. But I was all over the place. I was all over the road. I'm cutting the sucker down as much as possible. I'm cutting all the turns. Any little slight, inflections, I'm cutting them. And it was just it was a struggle. I got to the convenient, and in my mind I'm thinking, okay, it's downhill, even sharper downhill the rest of the way. And then you get to past the hardware store, and it's even sharper downhill. So it's a nice finish when you're coming into it. And I think I was able to finally get to that sub-8 pace coming to the finish line. But there's a lot of people there, they're cheering you on. They did have a fire truck parked right in the middle of the road, so it kind of necked everybody down and next to the sidewalk. A little bit of a mess there, but yeah, it is what it is. And finished 26:48 is the time. My watch said 26:47. I think Under Armour rounded up. I don't know what the official time for the race was. I did look at some pictures that people had posted on Facebook afterwards and at the start of the race, and I was not as far up as I should have been. Like, I should have been in front of some other people when that race started. That would have saved me a couple of seconds. I wasn't going to PR though. There wasn't a 15-second difference between the start and where I was at, so just kind of is what it is. But it's, looking back, like in the moment when the race finished, I was disappointed. I think I got fourth. I'm gonna say I got fourth because I didn't get a medal, so I know I didn't get in the top three. And I don't know who else was in that group, but So I got fourth. So he ran out awards for the first three. It wasn't me. I'm fourth. That's the way I look at it. Which is, it's disappointing. The first year I ran the race, particular race, I ran a 29:30, somewhere in there, and I got third. The next year I ran a 28:58, and I got second. I got second in my age group, and I believe that was a 40-year-old age group. Then they didn't have it because of the pandemic. They had it last year, and I ran like a simulated 5K. I ran a virtual one where I ran a 27:15, and that was my race for the year. So come back, the next year, and I had to up my train because when I finished second that race, I was 2 seconds behind the guy who finished in front of me. So I could have got first in my age group had I been able to run a little bit harder. But had I put down the times that I have the last 2 years, I would have won easily. It's just now, for whatever reason, I guess them 30-year-olds is coming up, and my age group is getting stacked like crazy. It's nuts. And the bad thing is, there's two older guys. Like I don't know how old they are. I think the one guy said he'd been running for 45 years. I mean, he's like in his 60s or something. At least late 50s. I don't know. The dude looked old. But he beat me. Two of them beat me. And one guy passed me, but the other guy was in front of me the whole race. And I never touched that guy. He was but they just paced themselves. They went out. They knew what they needed to run. I went out probably a little bit too fast. I think it did cost me. Just from the adrenaline of the race. But once you're in it, you're in it. Did it cost me 15 seconds? I don't know. I mean, it was just a weird feeling coming down that hill. Plus, it was just hot. I'm going to say that was the hottest race I've ever run. And I've run races without, the proper gear. I've got the running shorts now. I've got the good compression shorts. I've got good shoes, socks, a shirt that was light, the lightest shirt that I had. It wasn't aesthetically pleasing, but it was light. And I tried to get everything, best I could. And I'm carrying my water bottle because, especially yesterday, oh my goodness, it was so hot. I might be able to make it on a day where, it's in the 60s or 50s or something like that. I could probably make it 3 miles without water, but yesterday would have been rough. So, it kind of is what it is. Like I said, though, I ran the virtual race, so that was a PR for me. Then the next year came back, last year ran the 26:28. So, that was my PR. I think it went down in the books as like a 26:15 or something because the timing was a little screwed up. So, it wasn't quite right last year. This year, though, it is in the 26:40s. And, 12, 15 seconds probably definitely could be attributable to the heat. I mean, I think the race was hot last year. I know right after the race it stormed, and then it was freezing cold, so that was not enjoyable. But this year it was hot, and I tried to do some running in the heat to get acclimated to that, to prepare myself a little bit, and I mean, that's different because when you're out there running and training, if it's too hot, okay, I'm going to stop because it's not worth killing yourself about. But yesterday, all the training, all the other time, all the miles and stuff that you put into it, you want that payoff. And man, I tried. So I'm happy with the effort. I didn't leave anything out there. I'll put it that way. I gave everything that I had. But now, I got to look at the training. I think I need to lose some weight. Probably 20 pounds or so. Easy that I have on me that's not helping contribute. And I think I need to, do some more leg strengthening type stuff, some cadence quickening stuff. more speed work. So, I got another sub 27 5K, which was that mid-tier goal. 25 sub 25 is the goal, and I was down to 25:51. And if I had hit like I did last year, if I had better rest, if conditions were a little bit better, it was more overcasty than blazing sun on you, could I have got 25:30? Maybe. That's why I want to try to run the Debbie Green race. The Debbie Green race is Sunday. I want to try to run it. It's an early morning race. The bad thing is, man, my legs are sore today. Like, I ran Sunday and I ran a hard effort. It was the best time I've ever run. And that was early in the morning. The rest of the day, I didn't feel that bad. Last night, I don't know if it was just because it was in the heat, sweating like crazy or whatever, but boy, that was rough. And this week could work out because Friday we're having pizza and pasta and stuff, so I could do a little carb loading. I said in the other video, I wanted to see how, if the diet affected. You could just go out and run a 5K without, hitting a dietary regimen. And I don't know. Maybe it would have helped. Wednesday was definitely a long day. And I think, the lack of energy when I got to the race may have played a part in it. Like I said, I was almost to my step goal already. I had done a lot Wednesday. Having those carbs on board ahead of time may have helped. But it is what it is. I will plan accordingly next time and hit the carbs a little harder 2 days ahead. The other thing that was disappointing, really, and I can look back through my Garmin data and see what it came out last year, because I think the race conditions were similar. I don't know if I don't think I ran as hard last year as I did this year. Like I said, last year I get third? I might have got third last year in that group. Maybe second. I think it's second. I think I got third, second, and now I never got a medal. And the first race I ran, I never got anything because it was a Debbie Green race. This is the last Debbie Green they're going to have. I know I'm not going to get any hardware from the race, but it was the first race that I ever ran, so it's the last opportunity to run it. That's why I kind of want to run it, even if I'm not ideal, because I've never posted a sub 30 time in that race, and I could go out just training to get a sub 30 minute, as long as I'm not hurt. Which, like I said, the legs today are sore, but I'm not hurt. I didn't hurt anything. It's just muscle soreness from using it. Like I said, I ran hard. I'm not sad with the effort. Just, I was so disappointed with the result, though, because I so badly wanted to get a medal of some sort. Like, you get that reward, you want that. And I did not. And it's, do I train to get one little piece of metal every year? That's probably not good. And most of the time I go out to try and do better than I did last time, and I didn't do that either. And I'm going to put that on the conditions. And it's unfortunate when you train for one race a year and the conditions are not favorable. But man, just that's why I want that Debbie Green race. I want one more shot at another race this year. And even though it's in real close proximity, I think it's worth doing. I did have the strained calf this year too. I guess that probably did affect me. Not that I think I need all the training that I did. I think I could do what I did with less training if I was lighter. But I'm going to work on that and work on leg strength for the next one. All right, that's my post-race recap. Took almost as long as it did for me to run the whole race. So there you go. But I feel better. be careful, be COVID free. Later.